Hello everyone, this is a bit of a different video. Never did top 10 before, but I wanted to do something to celebrate Yugioh DM Monsters, very much so. Because I've been covering this series since this YouTube channel has been conceived. Well, technically that's Victoria Anime Season 0, but basically since this channel has been conceived, Yugioh DM Monsters has been a review series that I've been doing. So before going on to GX, I want to do a top 10 do monsters, a top 10 do monsters, like duelists, well technically top 11 since it's an honorable mention. But besides the point, I consider all the do monsters duels, the movies, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Capsule Monsters. Capsule Monster has no duels in it, but I consider it anyways, just to be fair. Just to include Capsule Monsters. I mean, since it has no dudes, it's not on the list. It's not eligible to be the list, but I thought I'd mention it anyways. And the only other rule, I guess per se, is no duplicate matchup. So like no like Sarakaiba versus Yami Yugi from the Pyramid of Light, and Sarakaiba versus Yami Yugi in Duel's Kingdom. Like, no duplicates. Any way, shape, or form. I had to put that rule in here because there would have been a duplicate if that wasn't the case. Let's move on to the actual list now. Starting off, we can start with honorable mention. Kaiba vs. Ishizu. This dude's the last dude in the semifinals of Battle City. I think there's two big moments of this dude. It's Exchange of Spirit, which was like the oh fuck moment for Kaiba when he goes like, shoot, all this deck destruction I did to Ishizu, she just, reversed on me, and now most of my stuff is in the graveyard, but, thank God I got an Obelix. And then Sarakaiba changing the future due to the Ward, and then, we give him iconic lines like, yes, I sacrificed God. And then Obelix is crying because he's sad that he's being sacrificed, which I also think is a very cool scene too, just because like Kaiba was heavily reliant on Obelix throughout Battle City ever since he got the man who wanted to slow down his Obelix every second that he could. So it's nice to see like, oh, guess what? Gonna sacrifice that Obelix to summon out Blue Eyes. Which also I do appreciate too. But Kaiba were kind of foreshadowed this, even though he didn't know he foreshadowed this, right? He goes like, I'm gonna change for future with my deck, including my Obelix. He did, very much so. But other than those two moments, this dude, I feel like lacks substance. Like, it has a Souls of Villain Light moment, which is, free tones when one duelist can attack. And Souls of Villain Light, they hit and miss. And this is one of those duels that I miss completely, is Boeing during the Souls of Villain Light. I know there's tension, but it also doesn't have that she's just like, I can see the future, this is going as directly as planned, so, which that gets sold very quickly. Like, we get what the necklace can do, we get it, Shizu. We get it. And, like, honestly, nothing else in terms of, like, dueling actions, all that tantalizing. I'm not gonna act like there isn't some kind of back and forth between Kaiba and Shizu besides the two big moments of said Doom. But it isn't as good, definitely not as good as the over 10 on the list. What gets the honorable mention slot is the big moments of the Doom. I think those two moments are great to kind of make up for the boring parts of this Doom to solidify it in a honorable mention slot. So, moving on to the actual, list, starting with number 10. We got Yami Yugi for the strings. Now, of course, to mention, the second half of this duel first. Actually, I kind of like the first half of this duel better. In a way that I like the back and forth of, before, Revival Gem got up, Old Strings got his humanoid slime out, and his Worm Drake and fuse them together, and, Yami Yugi was able to, counter that with Defusion. I really did like that. First, two tones, basically. And then, Revival Gem is great. I like him. Defender Gem. Good trap card. Good combination. And it basically just becomes, Slifer's on the field. Slifer's Scaly God staring Yami down. And it's to break the combo of, can destroy Slifer. Revival Gem protects him. Revival Gem gets destroyed. Strings gets to draw 3 cards. Do 2 cards, safe return. And then he has infinite cards in hand to have Slifer attack go up to absorb numbers. And which is a good threat, it's a good obstacle to overcome, especially since Slifer basically destroys anything with 2,000 alliance attack or defense. And it's fun to see Yamayuki basically create an infinite loop which causes strings to deck out by brain controlling Revival Gem. Have Flyfo uses his lightning bullet, destroys Revival Gem, Revival Gem comes back from the grave, strings draws 3 cards, rinse and repeat until no more cards are able to be drawn. Which, for a few times that a duelist decks out in a duel, which is also very much appreciated to see like alternate win cons besides life points drop to 0 here and there. But yeah, like this duel is good, but I don't think it has like anything to push it over good, if that makes sense. Even though it has like one of the most infinite like loops of all time in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's entertaining. I think the other duels on this list are a bit better. Number 9. Kaiba vs Siegfried. This duel is just pure fun. Like, Kaiba knows Siegfried ended the tournament and under a false name. He goes like, look, you know, the real stuff that's happening, we're not investigating who did, but, I know it's you. And Siegfried was like, taunting Kaiba like, oh, you disqualifying me because, you know, I did this, but, like, you look like a coward. Kaiba's like, think I'm just gonna let you go. I'm gonna do Kaiba 100% just like ultimately dominates Siegfried. Like, it's fun to see Kaiba using such cards as Dimensional Fusion and Chaos Emperor Dragon and Vote of the End. 100% a freaking blast to see Kaiba use those cards. And then seeing like Blue Eyes vs Q Anime goes is also just a fun statement to say, more than anything else. But Valkyrie is also a very fun deck, even though like one small complaint of the Valkyrie deck for us is that the 3 gods combo easily could just be banish the top card of the deck. You see the first 2 cards of your opponent's deck, banish one of them, instead of going for that whole loop. Very anime loop, but yes. I feel like it could simplify and make it 1 card, but other than that, Valkyries are fun, a lot more fun than playing them in real life. Am I right, guys? I remember, what was it? I opened a pack of Savage Sack from Walmart once, and my secret will, instead of getting, Burrowed Savage Strike, I got a Valkyrie, and I was immensely disappointed. Unrelated. But, seeing stuff like Mischief of the Time Goddess from Siegfried is fun too, but, the ending tone from Kaiba, Siegfried plays a card because, you gotta declare the spell cards, and you gain life points depending on how much you declare, and then you lose life points if you don't play, or if you declare, and Kaiba's like, you know what, I'm gonna play foe. It's impossible for him to fucking know that because he gets Card of Demise, and then just plays all these spell cards to get all these monsters back on his field, and just wins. It's awesome, it's cool, it's very anime, but it's just fun. And that's all you can really ask for this duel. But for one thing, really does hold back this duel's animation. It's not good. It's very awkward in some points, but that's mostly Kaiba. Oddly Pacific is mostly Kaiba's design by looks off, not Siegfried, not any of the monsters. It's Kaiba, which is weird. So for the most part, it's not too bad, but some shots of Kaiba, I'm like, what have they done to massacre my boy? But also the Green Eyes, White Dragon will live on in infamy. But number 8 is Joey vs Alan. This dude is over my Valen wants to do and for and so does Joey. Joey wants to be a friend, but he feels like, hey, I haven't been very foe, and that's why it leads my down the stock path. But I want to reach out to her now and try to bring her back to the correct path in life. And Valen wants to be Joey because he sees Joey as causing pain to Mai. So it's a very interesting dynamic. I don't know what is with Valen duels and Waking with Dragon, but the best looking ones. So someone on the animation team really like Valen. I mean, I don't blame them because the armor cards are fucking cool. The Mechwood Emperors basically before Mechwood Emperors were a thing. So I wonder if someone on the 5D's team is remember the armor cards? Let's do that, except for a tiny bit different. I know it would be a whole mess in the actual TCG, but my disappointment of the Mechwood Emperors when the point of the TCG didn't have the 5-part things immense. And they cannot do that for the armor cards if they ever get printed. But anyways, that's besides the point. it's just again a fun duo. Like it really feel brass down and dirty and for pain more than any other dude, just because you got two guys punching each other in armor, with Joey Leo and Vadu getting his red eyes armor suit thing. And then helmets is always fun. You know, you got the Rocket Warrior rocket launcher, and then Big Bang Dragon Blow, which I wonder if Yisei is watching the background, you know, with Rias and Akano. Like, again, like, it's hard to, like, really explain, like, why this dude is fun. It's just fun. Like, really, really, really fun. It's basically, like, kind of specifically just with better animation in terms of just a dude with pure fun and unapologetically pure fun. And I would never get tired of, like, watching Joey and Valin just trail blows and going back and forth. And also, one more thing too, I do appreciate Joey pointing out Valin like an old version of himself, which I do feel like that's good characterization for Joey, but kind of went back with his characterization in the next arc, but that's besides the point. But I really do like Valor, you know, reaction by a little extra layer of depth to this dude that Joey kindly pointed out to us. No, number 7. Yamayuki versus Akano. His Dark Magician versus Dark Magician boy. Which is a very good sub for Vadu. Because, you know, Dark Magician, then it's like someone else has this card. And 3 copies of that. Sign me up. And then, they'll also point out about, not really point out, but like, Akano is basically the opposite of Yamayuki in every way, shape, or form. He doesn't treat his cards with respect. He really cheats. And I like, for first turn, Yamayuki goes like, I know, but you cheated. So, like, I'm gonna just play card destruction so we both ditch out cards and draw new ones. I love that man. And his, sometimes omnipotent ability to tell what his opponents are doing and thinking. But, again, that's anime for you. Like, you know, probably the second most famous part of this duel is the saws. Oh, if you're watching the dark energy blades. Just touching and you get sent to the Shadow Realm, Yugi. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! British series made the saw reference like years ago, decades ago. Hasn't been 2 decades, I think, so at this point I'm close to it. But 2-man strap, and like literally a saw blade moves closer to you as you like lose life points. How can you not think of Saw? I'm just saying.
Do you want to play a game?
The spell off in the middle of dudes they fun with like Akana and Yugioh just like playing spells over one after another to like beat each other's Dark Magician, so it's like such a like, honestly, probably one of the most fun interactions in the entire Do Monsters era of the show. Just seeing both of them just basically have a full back row and just popping off one after another. Super freaking fun. And then we see where Jinza got his ectoplasma strategy from, just with one more layer of dimension in the GX episode. I do like the, like, it shows the Dark Magician, like, Yuki's Dark Magician likes him better, but triggering ectoplasm on his own to block Akana's Dark Magician. That is a good moment. And also Dark Magician go. Don't act like that didn't get this a bit higher. Look, you have to give it up for the first Dark Magician go appearance. On to number 6. Yami Merrick versus Joey. Joey is saving to save Mai and to meet Yami Yugi in the finals as a true duelist. That is like Joey's go through our battle saves to meet Yami Yugi as a true duelist. That is very compelling as like a character journey for Joey. Like Yami Merrick just hooks down on Joey this entire duel. And like Kaiba even is like, look, like Joey's a very unpredictable scrub. Like, even, like, Kaiba Copiers cannot understand this man's doing pounds. Like, he's unpredictable. But, you know, America's like, oh, like, you're not worth using War on. You're not worth using War on. And Joey is on the back foot for the majority of this duel. You got the plasma eels, you know, you got Joey finally, like, summoning Jinzo, and then that getting lava going away. And Joey's trying his best to, like, keep in this while also feeling the pain of his monsters due to the purple realm, Yami no game, Shadow game, whatever you want to call it. Eventually, like basically until Guilford the Lightning came down, like, well, lightning, to really put Joey in a good spot, that is when Wall comes out with his Phoenix mode, bones Joey's willpower away. And the man almost won. but he passes out before he could declare his final attack. It's also very tragic that Serenity only saw her brother doing in the semifinals, just like falling, passing out, instead of him like actually dueling. And that scene always gets me teary-eyed of like Joey like thinking that he won and thinking he is about to like face Yami Yugi in the finals as a true duelist. And like one of the few times that I know result dude doesn't like bug me in some way, shape, or form. I know that both Joey's duels in Battle City finals are no result. Like, not no results, but like don't end traditionally. Well, this one kind of end. Well, you know what I mean, like, it doesn't end, like, due to, like, the duel itself, due to, like, actually, both times wall. But, this is done well enough, it doesn't bug me. It's the main point I'm trying to make. So, number 5. Yami Merrick versus Yami Yugi. Now, this is the final of the Battle City arc, and, you know, the shadow game is the vessels are up on the darkness wall, whatever you want to call it again. And each time the counterparts lose life points, the vessels get shipped away, and whoever wins, or whoever loses, you know, also gets the vessel thrown into the darkness. Yeah, but it's basically Yami Yugi trying to keep Wall away. Wall is a whack-a-mole, and you gotta hit the hammer down, basically. But that is the kind of dueling action of this duel, is to keep that Wall down. And of course, Wall rises up a few times. You get Egyptian God Slime too, which is a very cool idea and concept. Plus, with a Defender Jam attached to that as well. 2, like when Yami Yugi finally beats Wall with Ragnarok, that's great imagery. But in terms of like doing action, this isn't like my favorite thing on the planet. I think there are better duels without doing action with this. Honestly, I mean this truly, compared to like any other fire duel of any arc, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably towards my least favorite on that spectrum, but it's still a good duel, and it's also very touching to see like Orion making up to the arena and giving Merrick back the will to live and taking his body back and surrendering, like once he does, defeating the darkness by his dark side by his own hands. So I do think that's also very nice and cool that is in this duel. Moving on to number 4. Yugi versus Yami Biko. Now this to get Yami Yugi's true name from his tomb. Also to prove that Yugi can stand on his own 2 feet. Yami Biko has a creepy deck as always. I like Yugi's deck with Silent Monsters, you know, Silent Swordsman, Silent Magician, and Marshmallow. But no graveyard. If I was able to come to the TCG line, OCG line, Willing Nightmare, I would imagine. But then again, they just introduced the whole like beast, like unknown effect in the OCG with Alliance Insight. I cannot stop talking about that sad paneling. So we save because no graveyard ruling ever becomes a thing. I do like Ghidorah being like a very cool way of being that, and then the fact that Yugi planned that, somehow knowing that Ghidorah was on the bottom of his deck, using the Spirit Soul Searing on Silent Magician himself, after Bakura used it on Silent Swordsman early in the duel, whips that out and wins the game. It's pretty awesome. This is a really show duel than it feels like, because this is in the background of Zoke stuff. So like I feel like this duel is longer than it actually is, but in reality it isn't. Which I'm not saying it needs to be longer. Or like in my mind, like I feel like I should have more to say. This is such a long duel, but in reality it really isn't, due to again Zoke happening, which makes sense. Zoke is the main focus of the arc. Again, it feels like I should have more to say, but I don't, due to it being kind of a show duel. But it's still like a really entertaining duel. Its length doesn't affect its entertainment value. Now, number 3 might be somewhat based on nostalgia, because I used to like get this from the library all the time. So my enjoyment of this might be, the placement of this list might be a little nostalgia-y, but Young Yuki would expect this number 3. Now this has the Duelist Kingdom kinks in it, with like, it's no rules, just do whatever you want. This duel is for this fight of 4 souls, Kaiba, Mokuba, Grandpa's, and Yugi's, Millennium Items, and Kaiba Code, because Mokuba has secret key to unlock Kaiba Code documents, which for whatever reason Yami Biko also wanted. He never explained, but he wanted those documents. The challenge is the Millennium being able to read Yami Yugi's mind, and the two monsters being a pain of ass to destroy, unlike in real life. So, that's an interesting challenge for us havers too. I love the two monsters. They have so much personality in the anime, it's even funny. Love them to pieces. And the mind shelf is countered by Yami Yugi, and Yugi device is very smart because they have two minds, might as well use them to block Pegasus being able to read each other's minds and getting into their strategies. And then later on, it's just the power of friendship that blocks it out. A little cheap, but I do like power of friendship message of like, Pegasus is alone while Yugi has friends type of thing. And I do like Pegasus' deck becoming more creepy after the tunes are defeated, like, kind of from saying Pegasus, like, oh, he has like a fluffy person, like more of a lighthearted personality on the surface, but inside, you know, it's a bit darker. And also, too, I do find it funny that we use the term illusion monster before, like, that becomes the type of a TCG and OCG, but like a long shot. And then Relinquish / 1,000 Eyes restrict are both cool monsters. I put them both in the same sentence because it's basically the same monster. Just one is a fusion. One is a fusion monster that's way more easier to access these days due to a can of soup called Insta Fusion. And the other one was a Witch World monster, so those are a pain in the ass to summon unless it's Dytron or Nekros. Well, if it's a new Witch World archetype of Supreme Darkness TCG exclusive, that's pretty good too. But that's besides the point. I'm getting off topic about Witch World monsters. And I do love too that Kuribo basically got the win for Yami Yugi by multiplying, getting sucked up, and then exploding. Insert Yugioh phallic 1,000 eyes restrict little eye thing to, again, make your own joke here about that, but I really do enjoy this duel a lot. I think it's very entertaining despite the duel's kingdomness to it. That does own it, the number 3 slot. The bronze medal, if you will. Or maybe the bronze kneecap, if you will. But number 2, which is Yami Yugi versus Kaiba Battle, is the silver medal one. There's many Kaiba versus Yami Yugi matchups throughout. The both Duel Monsters movies has this matchup in it. Because, well, I mean, one of them is the entire movie, basically, with Pyramid of Light. And it happens multiple times throughout the series. And it's a reason it's a good matchup. But this is the cream of the crop. The Aki, if you will, of the duels. You can't beat it. And, you know, it's in a Coliseum for a reason. It's king. But I suppose, just like the Cold War, is an armed ways to get the Egyptian god cards out of the field. Yes, that's what the US and the Soviet Union were fighting over, to get Slifer Obelix out on their dual field foes. And then Slifer and Obelix have a good battle of gods. I feel like I made that joke in my Dynasty Finals review. I probably made a poster of it or something. I'll probably flash it back up on the screen. But it's also the entertaining part of a duel. And then the neutral destroy each other, we get visions of the past. And then it basically becomes Blue Eyes versus Dark Magician in the second half. You get Ultimate Dragon out. You get Red Eyes with Dark Paladin, which again symbolizes the friendship thing that the Pegasus duel also did. But it also kind of in your face like that. Not so much, but still kind of in your face about it. And then you get the famous "You Can't Beat Me" with hate speech from Yami Yugi, which does put this over the edge. And honestly, the speech being killed, honestly, kind of doesn't make the Raphael with Yami Yugi duel work and the Wake of the Dragon arc. I feel like that do happens way too late in the series to work. But that's a different topic. And that's why that duel is not on this list at all, because that dude just doesn't work for me. For mostly that. Really good speech on Yami Yugi's part. And then getting different, like, dimensional wave to beat the defuse Ultimate Dragons. Very awesome, too. Having Joey watch the last part and seeing Yami Yugi win is also really cool. Just hearing, like, you know, Joey wanting up and go, Yugi! And then, you know, Yugi pops off. Is really cool, as the kids say. I'm sure all the kids say that exact statement. Can't stop them. But number 1, now you probably definitely know the number 1. Probably definitely know the number 1 slot. there's no way that this isn't obvious, I feel like. But it is a Tem versus Yugi.
What an unexpected surprise. And by unexpected, I mean completely expected.
I mean, I did make a 25-minute video on this duel. I mean, it's his own arc. I mean, and plus the reviews do the duels play-by-play. This duel is just too good. Like, it's too good. You know, this duel is to see if a Tem can return to the afterlife. And also another test to see if, like, Yugi, hey, he can survive without Tem. Like, honestly, first of all, I like to say I like the Gasha monsters. I think they're very neat in this duel. I don't know what the heck I'm doing with my hand. And then the God cards get summoned very easily in very quick sections. And then seeing Yugi take down the God cards is awesome. Again, a little loopy. It's also evolving Slifer's Lightning Bullet, which apparently is the Achilles heels of the gods. I like too, it's like, Yugi's like, oh, I've been thinking of ways to defeat the gods ever since I saw them. And it's like, yeah, you did see that. But I mean, it works, of course it works. And it's very smart of Yugi to use Slifer's effect against the gods. And then it basically becomes like, hey, Dark Magician is the new, like, boss monster to beat. And of course, Yugi does beat it with Silent Magician. But it's also, too, now that, like, the whole Millennium Duel, Pharaoh's Memories arc, whatever you want to call it, section is done. He knows that Leo, that's Mahan and stuff like that. So the bond between a Tem and Dark Magician makes sense. And it feels more point here. But that does add a layer to this duel. And also appreciate Kai by acknowledging Yugi's nice, and then the going sarcophagus scene when it's like, oh, the whole going sarcophagus scene when it's like, oh, I thought you were Monster Reborn Slifer, so that's why I put Monster Reborn and the going sarcophagus to negate it. Genius. I really like that. It's like these two people that have shared a body and mind for like how many years surely understand each other. It's very great to see. And of course, that causes Yugi to win the duel, but like, the emotions, the bonding between the two characters is very great. I appreciate that greatly. And that concludes the top 10 list. I hope you all enjoyed this different kind of video. I'm not sure how much I would make top 10s of the video in the future, but like, I wanted to do like a send-off to the Duel Monsters era of Yu-Gi-Oh! So, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike the video, give it a thumbs down. And hit that subscribe button if you want to see more for all this content. And I will see you all next time. Bye.